day MJ lost to a businessman. When you hear the name Michael Jordan, you think greatness, 6 championships, 5 MVPs, a killer instinct that turned legends into victims. But what if I told you one of the few people to ever beat Jordan one-on-one wasn't an NBA player, wasn't even a college star at the time. He was a businessman in a suit, and he cooked the GOAT on his own turf. This is the story of John W. Rogers, Jr., founder of Ariel Investments, a man who manages billions by day and dropped buckets by night, a man who earned the rarest of badges, Michael Jordan's competitive respect. Chapter 1. Who is John Rogers? Before becoming a powerhouse in finance, John Rogers was a savvy guard at Princeton University in the late 1970s. Known for his sharp decision-making and sweet shooting touch, Rogers embodied the cerebral Ivy League play style. After college, he went on to become one of the most prominent black businessmen in America, founding Ariel Investments in 1983. But basketball never left his blood. Even as he built a financial empire, Rogers still hooped in Chicago's most elite pickup runs. That included private runs at Michael Jordan's private gym, known simply as Hoops. Chapter 2. The Pickup Games of Legends. Hoops was sacred ground, not open to the public, not for the average baller. It was invite only, and MJ was the gatekeeper. You'd see Scottie Pippen, Ron Harper, Antoine Walker, and later even young stars like Jamal Crawford in those runs. But what stood out wasn't just the talent, it was the intensity. These weren't casual pickup games. They were fierce, combative, and played under Jordan rules. Chapter 3. The matchup nobody expected. So how did a 5'11" businessman end up matched against the GOAT? According to Rogers himself and several witnesses, one afternoon during the early 2000s, Jordan invited Rogers to run in a private scrimmage. Rogers had become a friend of Jordan's through mutual charity work and Chicago networking. He wasn't a stranger. He was more like a quiet assassin, the kind of guy you'd underestimate, until he ripped a few mid-range jumpers in your face. Jordan liked testing people. He once said, "I don't invite you to Hoops to chill. I invite you to compete." So when Rogers got the nod, he laced up, knowing full well the target he had on his back. And then it happened. Chapter 4. Beating Michael Jordan one-on-one. Accounts vary slightly, but all agree on one point. Rogers beat MJ in a one-on-one game. Multiple people in attendance that day recall Rogers knocking down shot after shot, using his quick release and smart footwork to outmaneuver Jordan, who by then was retired and in his 40s. But that's still Michael Jordan, the ultimate competitor. He wasn't going easy. No windmills, no trash talk, just pure fundamentals. Rogers played him like it was Princeton versus North Carolina. Smart, efficient, disciplined. Chapter 5. Jordan's reaction. Now, if you know MJ, you know he didn't just take that loss and walk away. According to Rogers, Jordan came back harder the next day and refused to lose. Jordan respected Rogers enough to keep inviting him back. That's what made this moment legendary. MJ didn't deny it. He embraced it. In a later charity interview, Jordan even joked, "John's one of the few guys who got me." Don't get used to it, though. Chapter 6. Not just a fluke. This wasn't just a one-off Cinderella moment. Rogers continued to be a known name in elite pickup circles. He played regularly with Barack Obama, NBA players, and celebrities. He even coached Team USA's Olympic financial literacy team. Yes, that's a thing. His business acumen and basketball skill became part of the same narrative. In fact, Rogers has said on record, "Basketball taught me how to compete. Business taught me how to win long term." Chapter 7. What this tells us about MJ. The Rogers story tells us more about MJ than we think. Yes, it proves he's human. But more than that, it shows how Jordan respected competition, no matter where it came from. If you came correct, if you put the ball in the hole, MJ gave you your flowers and then tried to take your soul the next time around. That's what separates the GOAT from the rest. Not perfection, but obsession. Final thoughts. The businessman who beat the GOAT. So next time someone says Michael Jordan was unbeatable, tell them about John Rogers. Tell them about the Princeton baller turned billionaire who laced up at hoops and proved that intelligence, discipline, and a pure jump shot could shake up even the fiercest legend. Because even MJ had off days, but only a few ever made him remember your name. And John Rogers, he's on that list. In ink. Before Princeton, Rogers honed his skills at the University of Chicago Laboratory Schools, where he stood out not just as an academic, but also as an on-court general. His ability to read defenses, shoot from anywhere, and keep his composure under pressure made him a coach's dream. He wasn't flashy, but he was efficient, just like his approach to investing years later. Hoops wasn't your average rec center. It had a private entrance, world-class hardwood, and a no-nonsense vibe. Only the toughest, most respected players got an invite. Jordan used the gym as both a sanctuary and a proving ground. If you were lucky enough to get picked, you knew the score. Bring your best or don't bother showing up. The air inside was thick with ego, sweat, and respect. MJ's losses are always followed by something greater. After getting swept by the Pistons, he came back stronger. After losing to the Magic in 1995, he returned to win 3 more titles. And after John Rogers got the better of him, you can bet Jordan doubled down on his workout routine, tightened his jumper, and looked forward to the next chance to settle the score. Losing for MJ wasn't failure. It was fuel. In later years, Rogers used this story not to brag, but to connect. He would mention it during speeches at investment conferences or panels on leadership. The moral was always the same. Preparation beats hype. Smart decision-making can outperform raw talent. And sometimes, even legends need to be reminded, never underestimate your opponent, no matter what they wear to work.